What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the BGN Sports Media Network channel, as well as Cowboys Corners channel and mine. This is the first show of many of the Boyz Corner. Cowboys Corner, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, Cowboys Corner right here on YouTube, _Cowboys Corner on Twitter. Like Boys for Life said, this is the Boyz Corner show, guys, right here. And I'm not going to abbreviate Bird Gang Network. That's not what I do. Right now, right here, this is the Cowboys Network.
Yeah, that's right. Man, what an offseason it has been so far in the month. I mean, the true offseason actually hasn't begun, right? With free agency and whatnot. But the stories, it never ceases to amaze me, the headlines that are even put out there with the Cowboys. It makes, I don't know, it kind of makes it, I'm going to say this. It's being a Cowboys fan is not for the faint of heart. It isn't. It's not with what's going on. Man, it's been a fun show to watch thus far with the past, month. Talks of Amari Cooper, talks of Tank. Now La'el Collins is coming out. Now we got an illegitimate child of Jerry Jones. I mean, it's just so much to unpack, and it's only been a month in, man. I mean, what are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, the Cowboys are doing everything but winning.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You are not lying. And what makes me laugh about this, I mean, I just recently got Twitter, right? Like maybe in October, and I'm already numb to all these people all the Cowboy fans on Twitter. Like it's the delusion that I see in our fan base is crazy. It's crazy out there. It legitimately is. It's everyone going to battle with everyone that's in the Cowboys fan base right now because no one likes what's going on. I mean, and I can see why, because I feel like when you're used to mediocrity and then you finally get something halfway decent, you don't want to let it go. You know, I mean, it's crazy to me, man. I mean, we grew up in a different time. We saw the Cowboys in a different way. We've been stuck in a rut for the past 26 years. And, you know, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this stuff already.
You know, it's so funny because, like you said, 26 years, Cowboys haven't won anything. I think they're top 11 since 2000. I think they're number 11 since 2000 for wins. I think it's like 186 wins. New England's number one at 250 something. And, you know, we're number 11. You know, we're not 32 where the Browns are. We're not in the 20s. We're not 17 where New York Giants at. We're 11. We're almost top 10 in wins, and we have nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it.
Exactly.
And the Dallas Cowboys, Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, it blows my mind here. Hear me out, Boys for Life. It blows my mind. We have just last year a 40% roster turn and basically a 98% coaching turnover, and it's still the same mediocrity. We can blame Dak. We can blame Kellen. We can blame this. But if the front office is the same, the general manager's the same, Stephen Jones the same, managing cap dollars, and you have a completely different coaching staff, you have a 40% roster turn, who's to blame? Who's the last people standing? Jerry and Stephen Jones.
Oh, I agree. I 100% agree with what you're saying. I said this on Twitter a couple days ago. The Cowboy front office is a family. Like, it's legitimate, father, son, daughter. Like, you know, the GMs, the owner. It's a mess. But I said that it's basically a mom and pop shop running $1 billion company, because that's what it is. It's a family business. You know, you don't have an outsider as your GM. You have the owner. You don't have an outsider running the books. It's your son. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, I'm sure they can have disagreements, but at the end of the day, they all think the same. They all think the same, and it's just there's no one to blame but the front office, and it's one bad decision after another. And it's been like that since the firing of Jimmy Johnson after a Super Bowl win. I mean, who does that? Right? I mean, who fires your head coach, Super Bowl winning head coach after the Super Bowl? Like, it's just one bad decision after another. And I think this year I kind of bought into the hype of, it might be different. You kind of saw it being a little different. But then once that Cardinals game came around, it all kind of, and we lost, it all kind of came to a head for me. And I'm like, this team isn't going nowhere. This is not, especially when you had most of their starters out and we're playing backups. And I was like, no. I mean, as a Cowboy fan, of course I wanted us to win against the 49ers. Of course I'm going to talk about us winning. But at the same time, there was just no way. In my heart of hearts, I could not see us winning that game just because it felt the same at the end of the year. It all felt the same. I mean, especially when everyone got hyped in that Eagles game when we were playing second and third stringers and we put up 50 some odd points and everyone was drinking the Kool-Aid at that point.
You can't drink the Kool-Aid. Not there.
No. And see, here's the thing. I know you're going to have a little disagreement with me here, but I started drinking the Kool-Aid again with DeMarcus Lawrence. I did. And then when I saw him, from what I saw against the Cardinals, he was playing a backup offensive tackle, and we didn't get one sack from him or really anyone. It kind of fell off for me again right there. And then the whole Dak thing, I don't know, man. I mean, we're on the same page when it comes to Dak. He's not the guy. I mean, I fought for him for 4 years when he was going up against Carson Wentz back then, and then it started to fall off for me. And I started to see the little things here and there when the game's put in his hands. I mean, you had that rant or you had that video of when the game's in his hands, it was a percentage of losses, right?
Yeah.
It's I don't know where we go from here. I honestly think we are one free agent signing away from the Cowboy fan base flipping out and saying the Cowboys knew what they were doing the whole time, and that is with the Bobby Wagner thing floating around right now. And that's what I'm afraid of. That everyone is on pins and needles with what's going on. And if we were to bring Bobby Wagner in here, I feel like it would flip everything, and everything would be all peaches and cream again.
You really think that?
With the fans, I don't think we would be, if we were to sign Bobby Wagner, I don't think that we would be all gravy as a team. But I think some of the fan base is so adamant about this Bobby Wagner thing that I think they would be happy with it, even what has transpired or the talks that have happened already. And that's just what I see from Twitter right now.
See, you have to be careful on Twitter, though. And I know you're kind of new to Twitter.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with Twitter because a lot of people that have a lot of big base followings on there, they can tweet anything. And in the Cowboys thing, and I don't pay attention to other teams, but Cowboys tweets, it's 50-50 until Dak Prescott started doing what Dak Prescott does. And I'm surprised it took you 4 years to realize who Dak was. I've been saying Dak is not the guy since 2017 week 2 against the Seattle Seahawks. Go watch that game. That was go watch that game. If you got 22 film, go watch week 2, 2017, and right then and there I knew Dak wasn't the guy. Instantly. Because, and here's my thing, I stuck up for Tony Romo for so long, and it got me nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stick up for Dak when I know that he don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why 2017, the light switch turned off. I knew he didn't have it, right?
Yeah.
So, back to Twitter. Bobby Wagner is another piece to the defense. The defense didn't have issues. We're talking about an offseason where Amari Cooper could get cut or traded. DeMarcus Lawrence is out of here. I'm a big DeMarcus Lawrence fan, by the way. I love D-Law. We haven't heard anything about Randy Gregory. We're probably losing Cedric Wilson. Dalton Schultz is tagged. That's probably the only thing they've done except retaining Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Right. So right now, if fans are really thinking that Bobby Wagner is the piece that we need, they're still got the Dak blindfolds on. They still do. But what I love about Twitter is you get to see the turn. You get to see the turn. Like when people are like, why is Dak playing like this? Is Dak hurt? Is Dak this? Is Dak that? No, this is who he is. And now you're starting to see it. It's been happening, but those Dak blindfolds are still slowly coming off, Boys for Life.
I see it.
Look at the turn in Twitter. A lot of people have no hope. Look at the Dallas Cowboy motivation video they last put out. Zero hope. And we have to hold the Jones family's feet to the fire. We got to hit them where it hurts, and that's their pockets. We can't go to these games.
Yeah.
We can't buy these. We can't go to training camp. We can't do that. We can't do a lot of things. Get us to the playoffs. Get us to an NFC championship. And by all means, get us to that Super Bowl.
Oh, I 100% agree. It's funny that you say that about Dak, about the blindfolders coming off. I started to notice that. When I came into Twitter about midseason, it was Dak this, Dak that, Dak. He's hurt. He's going to have a bounce back game. And the Kool-Aid started to be drank again around the Redskins game. The second one when we slaughtered them. I saw that Kool-Aid being drank again. And then this offseason, after that Niners game, I saw a lot of Twitter fans that were once rooting for Dak and saying Dak is the guy are now singing a different tune. And now you have guys saying that without Amari, that used to say Dak's the guy, now they're saying without Amari is gonna be a struggle, which I mean we both agree on that. Without Amari Cooper, it's gonna be a struggle for Dak. With the Cedric Wilson signing, what are your thoughts on that, on him possibly leaving?
I like it. I do. I think Cedric Wilson was a product of Coop getting double covered, Lamb playing. He shined for us certain spots. He's a big guy, big time arm thrower, made some big plays, but he's replaceable. The person I want to step up the most if Amari Cooper goes is CeeDee Lamb. And I got to double check this, but somebody told me, and I got to double check it. So don't quote me on this. He didn't have a touchdown the last 7 games. Is that true?
Who was that?
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee, I believe so. I think I forget. Yeah, I got to look that up, but I believe so. It was like 6 or 7 games.
Someone told me that CeeDee Lamb didn't score a touchdown the last 7 games. And I was like, what? And I haven't had time to look it up because that's just mind-boggling to me. When this guy, and this is the problem with Cowboy Nation and Twitter. They buy the hype, they drink the hype, they shit the hype.
Yeah.
When CeeDee Lamb got drafted, 40 burger. YouTube took the dislike button down. The CeeDee Lamb draft reaction that I put up had almost 500 dislikes because number one, I wanted to go defense. Okay, number one, I wanted to go defense. Number two, this was Mike McCarthy's first pick. And I wanted him to go defense, but he went offense. He's a wide receiver guy, right? So it makes sense. But the 40 burger chance that kept going and kept going and kept going, and then we get this where he potentially falls on his face. He has dropped. Yes, he went to this Pro Bowl, but he went as an alternate. He wasn't a first choice. He's an alternate choice. Yes, he had 1,000 yards because you got Cooper, you got Schultz, But problem with Cedric Wilson is he was a product of Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Dalton Schultz. He stepped up. He made special plays. He did this, that, and the third. But he's replaceable. He's fourth on your offense. I don't see him going anywhere else. If he goes to another team, good for him. Go get your money. That's what you're supposed to do. But it ain't like the end of the world is here because Cedric Wilson's leaving. This was the first year he was actually healthy since he's been a Cowboy.
Yeah. And I looked that up, and you're right. CeeDee Lamb, whoever told you that was correct. He had his last touchdown was against the Falcons in October. 11-14 was his last touchdown.
And
CeeDee
then
Lamb.
he had a concussion against the Chiefs. He only played a little bit, and then he was gone for the Raiders. So give or take those games or whatever. So 5 games.
Yeah.
5 games. And people want to make the argument that he's a true number one.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, I agree. I mean, I don't know if he's ready for that move. We talked about it before about how he's not being utilized correctly, his drops, and what I think I saw from him on his drops, or why he was dropping the ball. He was more of a guy because for CeeDee Lamb, weren't they doing a lot of screenplays for him?
They do screenplays. He's more of a slot guy.
Yeah.
The problem is, and I don't know what happened, but after the Broncos game, and big shout out to Okoye Media. He does great film session. He's probably one of the big popular guys that I actually like and respect.
Yeah.
Because he keeps it real. He don't let subscriber count get to his head. Okoye Media, I'm a big fan of his. I watch him a lot. I watch his stuff. But you watch his film, and I like to pay attention to other things as his film goes. But for whatever reason, our wide receivers couldn't beat bump and run. And if you're going to be a true number one, Amari Cooper is going to be double shaded up top. And CeeDee Lamb, he's not playing against the best corner. He ain't. He has to be able to win. Yes, he got 1,000 yards, but you can't go that many games without touchdowns and then the next year be considered potentially being a number one wide receiver. That just don't work that way.
No, you're absolutely correct. I think a lot of this offense, the Cedric Wilsons, CeeDee Lamb, Turner, I think all of that benefited from having Amari Cooper there, from having, even though Zeke wasn't he wasn't a big threat, he's the X factor on the field. You have, and then you had the emergence of Tony Pollard, which when he's on the field, you got to account for him as well. So there's a lot of variables, and then you had Dalton Schultz as a check down. You also had him open a lot of times when you had not CeeDee Lamb, but Amari Cooper on the field, because there's only so many guys you can cover on the field. So I think a lot of these guys were a product of Zeke and Cooper, and it's going to be interesting to see the way this defense is going to shake out. And if Amari Cooper is gone, this whole draft, I think, is going to be changed a little bit. It's going to be changed. I've been looking at us drafting either a wide receiver. Either a linebacker or offensive lineman, preferably a guard. That's what I would like, because we both know that this offense still runs through Zeke. In my opinion, I'm sure that's what you feel. It runs through Zeke or Tony Pollard this run game. And the best way, especially if we're not re-signing Connor Williams, and we all saw that Connor McGovern deal, he wasn't – I don't know if he wasn't what we thought, but struggled a little bit. I think to get a new guard, if we're not signing Connor Williams, is the way to go. But with all these guys being released, especially at key positions like edge, like wide receiver, our bigger name guys, in the first round, it's going to be a little worrisome for me of where we're going to go.
I think that's fair. I do agree. Guard is somewhere we need to do. They're talking about trading. They're talking about trading Lyle Collins. They are taking phone calls for that. A lot of people do forget that we got Josh Ball, who was a high talent, had some domestic violence issues, so he kind of fell in the draft. We do got Matt Farniak, who was in the 7th round draft pick, who they want as a center guard flex, more of a center in my opinion. And so, we got some pieces there. Then who knows? Undrafted free agent guys who signed to the team, playoff tryout guys. You never know who could make the team. The Cowboys. A lot of walk-ons made this team. A lot of undrafted free agents made this team in years past, right? So if they cut Amari Cooper or trade Amari Cooper, You can go wide receiver in the third round. There's the wide receiver depth in this draft is huge. Sky Moore, his stock is rising. I was hoping he could do some crazy stuff and just bam. Because if they move CeeDee Lamb to the X, Sky Moore will be a perfect slot guy, in my opinion. Calvin Austin III, they met with him. He's a little faster than Sky Moore, but Calvin Austin III, I think, will still be a good impact player, in my opinion, right? So if they move CeeDee Lamb to the X, bring in you a slot, Sky Moore, Calvin Austin III, some of those guys, bring them in here and let's go to work. They did sign Noah Brown there. So wide receiver ain't a big need. You can go to the third round there. Linebacker is a big need here. If they lose Tank, or if they cut Tank and they lose Randy Gregory in free agency, Terrell Basham, Carlos Watkins, these guys were on one-year deals. Brett Urban got hurt. Does he come back? Defensive line is going to be a big priority here too. Guys like Travis Jones, can you steal him with that first pick? Do you want to spend that on a defensive tackle there, or do you want to wait till the third round because you can get somebody there too? So they got a lot of moving pieces. Let free agency take care of itself. Cowboys are going to be dumpster diving in free agency. It's what they do every year. No splash moves. But somebody's trash is another man's treasure. So if they dumpster dive, maybe, just maybe, they can find another J. Ron Curse.
Yeah. What we're talking about right now with the draft, if I'm going defensive line, one of the guys I've been looking at is Devontae Wyatt. That's a big boy in the middle. I think he's out of Georgia. That's a big boy out of the middle that can move some people.
Georgia guys had a good combine.
Yeah. So, I mean, him and there's DeMarvin Lee, I think is his name. He's out of A&M. That's another big boy that can move some people. So those are two of the guys on the defensive line that I'm looking at. But like I said, for me, linebacker, that's another pressing need, like you said. I like Nakobe Dean is another one. For me, I feel like speed. Speed is what we need on this team. We saw it with Parsons. We've seen it with a few of our other guys. What we saw, in the beginning of LVE's career when he was paired up with Jalen Smith before both of those kind of fell off due to injury. But speed, I like Micah Parsons. I've been a Micah Parsons guy day one. I made a video about it when we were getting our butts kicked against the Ravens a couple years ago. I did a live and I said Parsons is the guy we need, because especially what I was seeing with our linebackers. To me, LVE, he's good on the field, but he's been hurt the past couple years, right? To me, he's the new Sean Lee. He's good when he's there, but he's not always there. It's going to be an interesting offseason this year. I feel it's going to be very interesting with what's going on. We are always dumpster diving when it comes to free agency. It's nothing new for us, and I mean, how do you feel? I mean, what kind of free agencies are you looking at that you're hoping that we get? Not ones that we have that we're going to retain, but that's out there right now. Because I am unsure. I have so much going on right now.
I pay more attention to the draft than I do free agency because we don't sign big ticket guys.
Yeah.
And so I really don't pay attention to free agency. I just, whenever we sign them, I look at them and go from there. So I really don't pre-visit free agency, because when it comes to the Cowboys and pre-visiting, like, who the hell would have thought to look at Carlos Watkins with the Texans? Who would have thought to look at Brett Urban from the Chicago Bears? Who would have even thought to look at J-Ron Curse from the Minnesota Vikings? A lot of people wouldn't have. So it's kind of hard for me to project and say, I want this, I want that, because I'm shopping on a max credit card because my team is the Dallas Cowboys. So it's like Christmas. I just wait to open the presents underneath the tree when they get me something.
No, I feel you with that. For me, it's like, once football's over with, yes, I keep up with the Cowboys. It's not really I keep up with everything else like I do during the season. So I got asked that question a few days ago, and I was like, dude, to be honest with you, I have no idea who's even out there right now. Like we have so many free agents under our belt that we have to kind of retain. To be honest with you, like I couldn't even name all of them, all of our free agents.
Yeah, we can't even afford a punter.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Afford a punter.
I saw on Twitter that they were getting upset that they were like, "Oh, F this punter, let him go, let him walk." But didn't our punter make the Pro Bowl? Like, I mean, this is like
he
one of our
best offense out, dude.
I know.
He pinned them. I mean, we couldn't even get a first down half the damn time, and this guy's pinning them in their own 10.
Yeah. When you hear people say about our season, and you say we had, that we're never satisfied, that we act like we had a bad season, even though we went 12-5. What are your thoughts on the season of everything from what we saw in the beginning and what we saw that 6-game run that we had when we went 6-1 to the middle to the end? Like what was your what's your thought about everything that happened?
I want to say every team that we lost to except the Broncos made the playoffs. So who did we beat? We beat the Chargers. Whoa. The Chargers beat themselves, right? I mean, I get it. It's football, game of inches. The Chargers beat themselves, and Cowboys almost beat themselves, right? So, yes, The record reflects 12-5. Yes, we had a top 3 offense in the National Football League. Yes, we had a defense who was opportunistic and got turnovers after turnover, which that was exciting. We haven't seen that from a Cowboys defense in I don't know how long.
No, so I don't even remember when.
That was exciting, right? The last time we had that many takeaways around 2014, we had 32 takeaways. But our defense wasn't ranked as high in certain categories as it was this past year. Right, 2014 we had 32 takeaways, and I can't remember how many we had this year. But it was fun to watch this team, but it wasn't fun to watch them against good teams, 500 plus teams. It just wasn't. Yes, the record reflects 12-5, but it was an unsuccessful season because, like Simon said, we didn't win the Super Bowl. 31 teams had bad seasons. Simon said this on his video. I thought it was brilliant. 31 teams had a bad season because only one won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I watched that video with Simon, and shout out to Simon. He's here. Please know Bobby Wagner. We talked about this earlier. You're right. I mean, I'm not one. I don't know if you want him, but I'm not here for bringing in 31-year-old vets, especially when we got Parsons and we got Jabril Cox waiting in the wings here to get back in. And then what we're looking at in the draft, I'm not really primed for a 31-year-old to come in here. But no, Simons is right. The 31 teams had an unsuccessful season, and it makes me laugh when I hear certain Cowboy fans get pissed off and upset at me and call me a Cowboys hater and tell me to find a new team because I'm pissed off because I'm upset that we went 12-5 and did nothing in the playoffs. I mean, to me, that's a loser's mentality. You're just happy to be there, Like that's not me. I don't want to just be there or be happy to be there. I want to be there and act like I belong and do something when I get into the playoffs, And for us, it's the same song and same dance every year.
Yeah. And it is. We got an incompetent offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore. How do you not scheme around guys like Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb? How do you not scheme around Connor Williams when he's going to be holding? How do you not run the ball away from him? How do you not get him out of just swing him out and have him pass block for a screen? Kellen Moore failed this team on so many levels. And I really don't think Dak Prescott has the authority to audible out of plays. If you watch that Kurt Warner film session that he did, they're running the same play time after time after time. When the offense goes to the bench and they have their Surface Pro tablet in their hand, they're looking at what they just did and what the defense is giving them. They're running the exact same plays. I don't think Dak Prescott has the power to make audible adjustments or to check out a play. Call 2 plays. One's a pass play, one's a run play. The only thing Dak Prescott can do is kill, and they're going to the left or the right with Zeke or Pollard. Because that Kurt Warner's film session showed me that Dak Prescott don't have the power, a 60-year vet, to change something. They did it against Philly. Amari Cooper said, let's run this play. And Dak Prescott said, no, they called this play. And he goes, no, let's do it. Dak Prescott stopped what he was doing. He went to Amari Cooper, big play, right? Yeah. That's the only time that I know of that Dak Prescott has ever done that before. You look at Amari Cooper, he looks like he's so damn frustrated. CeeDee Lamb's so damn frustrated. If I was Amari Cooper, I would be clapping my hands saying, hey, can we request a trade? Let me go where I want to go to actually go win some games. Who's going to scheme around me? Because Kellen Moore does not do that.
No. No, you're 100. I mean, I see replays, I see film, I see that stuff, the Kurt Warner stuff, and it's like, why do we have 3 wide receivers on the same side running the exact same route? That makes no sense. Like, I mean, I'm not kidding you. There was a film on a certain play. I forget who we were playing, but I legitimately saw. I want to say it was Wilson, Lamb, and I forget who else, but they all ran the same curl route within 10 to 15 yards of each other. Just to say, it was ridiculous. I was like, what are we doing? Kellen Moore, I was like, there's no way. I mean, let's look at this. Kellen, like I said this before on different shows that we've done, Kellen Moore we run a lot of screenplays, especially when we're behind the chains. 3rd and 15s, 3rd and 10s. I mean, these screenplays do not work. I just don't understand it.
Can I touch on that?
Oh, yes, go for it. I saw that. Yeah, go for it.
Simus is 100% correct because Kellen Moore pulled his head out of his ass and learned how to scheme a plan around number one, a wide receiver. And CeeDee Lamb was there with them. They got them the ball, they got him open, and they schemed around him. He looked more comfortable because they schemed around him in that Vikings game. And then they put the ball in Dak's hands and call these generic plays, and Dak Prescott, he's a corporate guy. Jerry Jones called him daddy once upon a time. He's not going to disobey the Jones. He's not going to disobey the laws of the Dallas Cowboys. So he's not going to want to audible and check out of plays. But he needs to listen to his wide receivers, and he needs to learn how to audible and check out of those plays. Because Cooper Rush, he had a couple of picks, yes, but they schemed around those wide receivers.
I felt like with Cooper Rush, they made it simple and got their best players the ball instead of doing some crazy, weird stuff, throwing it to Wilson or doing some, trick play that Kellen Moore does. When Dak's in the game, it was, to me, it seemed very simple. Get your number one, your top players the ball, and let them go to work and do what they got to do. And Cooper Rush did a really good job of getting Lamb. And I mean, I think Cooper that game had double-digit either receptions or targets, and same thing with Lamb. And they both, I think, had over 100 yards receiving that game.
I don't know. When Kellen Moore's back is against the wall, he does scheme some things, but he's made so many boneheaded mistakes that it's unreal to me. Look at the Vikings game. He ran it 3 times. 3 times when Dak was having a heyday against their secondary. Ironically, against the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
You look at the Patriots game. I mean, there's so many play calls where you're scratching your head and you're like, Dak, how are you going with this? How is this making sense to you? Like, you have to, you go to quarterback meetings, you go to talk to your offensive coordinator about game plan and schemes. Like, do you not ever just sit there and say, you really think this is going to work?
Yeah, no. I mean, I mean, you're right. You said it. He's a corporate guy. He's not going to stir the pot. That's not, I don't see that with Dak, even with amidst all this, COVID shit and all this other stuff that went on. He was right there. Whatever Jerry said, he agreed with. He's not a guy that I don't think likes to stir the pot, put his own 2 cents into something. You tell him what to do and he does it. You know, I don't think there's any other way around it. When you talked about how you don't think he has the power or the authority to check out of plays, do you think he doesn't have the power? Do you think it's more of that, or you think it's him not being able to read defenses correctly or the know-how of what to call in certain situations?
I think it's a mixture of both. And we're talking about a 6-year vet here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of quarterbacks who won Super Bowls at the age of 28. And I think Dak's about to turn 28 or already turned 28. So that window's closing. That window's closing pretty fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're in, you watch Hard Knocks, and Dak Prescott made a comment to Mike McCarthy. He said, if you watch the Tampa Bay game, so in the Super Bowl versus the season, they played two different defenses. He was like, that was crazy. That was mind-blowing, right? That wasn't Hard Knocks. So I think he understands when he's watching film with the remote in his hand and he's sitting there watching all 22 clicking and doing the thing. I think he understands it there. But when it comes to actual game, I mean, look how many times he hesitated to throw footballs. Look at all the times where he threw 5-yard dink and dunks. I think you have to set up play action for him, and the running game was almost non-existent for him. Play action was basically non-existent for him. When he rolled out to the right, his throws were completely off. I can't remember what content creator said this, but they talked about he's losing his brother to suicide, his ankle, he lost his grandma. Did the off the field things, because this is probably one of the most inconsistent. Now Dak's inconsistent, but this year was probably the most inconsistent that we've ever seen him. So, and a lot could play into that. He had the sprain here or the tear here. Yeah. Then he had the calf, this, that, and the third. But the only problem that I had, and I'm not ever calling Dak trash because he isn't trash. You get him a good running game, you get him a good play action. That's where Dak Prescott succeeds. Yes. Right? 100%. But the people that hype him up saying he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, they just got it wrong, in my opinion. He's not a top 5 NFL quarterback, in my opinion. He's a game manager. And like I said, previous videos, Kellen Moore's a flat tire to the bus Dak is driving because there's so many inconsistencies there. But Dak, I think it's a mixture of both. And I think, when people get paid, they tend to lose their minds a little bit. Dak Prescott got paid. Did he get a little lazier? Maybe. Because, like I said, this is the sloppiest and most inconsistent we've seen Dak since he's been a Cowboy. Yeah. So maybe the contract played a big part in that. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry. I mean, he's not the only one to kind of fall off with play. I mean, we saw Zeke fall off a little bit. I know you're a Tank guy, but Tank fell off a little bit. I mean, we saw him the 2 years before his contract, 14 sacks, 10.5 sacks. We haven't seen double-digit sacks since then. And then now Dak's getting paid, fell off. I mean, there's a lot of variables to take into account with Dak Prescott because of his personal life and what's going on. I kind of feel like, for me, myself, I kind of lose sight, that everyone, we all got our own personal issues outside, because for me, when it comes to football and the players there, I only see them as football players. I don't see them as anything else because I don't know them on a personal level. You know what I mean?
Correct. 100%.
I don't know them on a personal level, so I don't care what's going on outside of football when it comes to you, because straight up, you don't care what happens to me outside of football. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to care for you. You're not going to care for me. You just play on the team that I cheer for, so that's why I know who you are. And I sometimes, I lose sight of that sometimes. But at the same time, it's kind of hard when you have a lot of that going on in your own personal life. And then on top of that, you're the quarterback for one of the most successful franchises in sports history. The glass is going to be on you. The magnifying glass is going to be on you even more so because you are the Dallas Cowboys quarterback.
No, absolutely right. And I said it because, I've been a Dak hater as people like to call, since 2017. You know, I used to do a thing called the Round Table. And one of the questions got brought up was who's getting paid first, Dak or Amari? I said Amari. They all lost their shit. But guess who got paid first?
Yeah.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Right? And then, you know, it's just, I forgot where I was going with that, but I had a perfect setup here. But what the hell were you talking about just now?
About Dak's personal life and how sometimes we lose sight of that. And
so and Simon's right here talked about all the guys that got money. They sucked, all of them. Absolutely. Yeah. Because here's the thing. Juju Smith-Schuster, he filmed a 7-Eleven commercial with Dak Prescott, and they interviewed him. And he's a free agent this year. I don't know if they franchise tagged him or what yet, but they said, would you want to play for Dak? He goes, in Pittsburgh, we still got wooden benches for seats. Like the Cowboy players, they have it so Gucci.
Oh yeah,
they do. They're first class NFL football players. Look at what Cheeto said. In Cincinnati, it's about football. In Dallas, it's about the bling. It's about the spotlight. He goes, you don't have to worry about football in Dallas. He goes, you have to do it here because it's blue collar. Cole Beasley said the same thing. Like Jerry Jones spoiled these guys with the Star in Frisco, spoiled these guys with AT&T Stadium, spoiled these guys with contracts, bringing them in, like you said, Mom and Pa, bringing them in like family. La'el Collins about to get traded, and he had dinner with Tyron Smith and Doug Free and all these guys at Jerry Jones' house.
Yeah.
Like this is what Jerry does. He needs to step away from the GM role. Steven needs to step away from the cap. Get a general manager to manage both. Hell, hire Will McClay to do it. I don't know if he knows money books or not, but he damn sure knows how to find draft talent. His free agency talent this year was probably his best one in I don't know how long. All right. But, you know, get somebody else in here to play GM. Get somebody in here to manage the books because the Cowboys shoot themselves in the foot time after time after time. Green Bay Packers, they had more they were more over the cap than the Cowboys were. They just signed their quarterback and they franchise tagged their best wide receiver. Do you think they care about salary cap?
No. I mean, you look at what the Rams are doing. They're trying to keep everyone that they traded for, and I think even give Stafford a raise, if I'm not mistaken from what I've read.
And they're right there with the Cowboys and Packers and salary cap. Do they care about salary cap?
Nope.
Stephen Jones, dude, I don't get it.
I don't either. I don't either, man.
But we're going to keep buying jerseys and tickets and yell real loud and argue on Twitter and make this team Forbes #1 franchise in the whole world, and we're still going to do all that. They don't, and they don't care.
No. It was funny because Simon, if he's still here, he put a tweet out there. It was something about, you know, we're still going to be doing exactly what you said, buying jerseys and doing that. And I made a comment, and I was like, yep, I'm waiting for that first-round draft pick jersey to come out. That's who I'm getting. Like, just as a joke, because it's true. Like, we still, no matter what, are going to buy jerseys. I've said this already on my own stream. Jerry Jones, he's built such a stadium. He's built such a franchise. The storyline, everything, what he did, he's built it from the ground up for what it is now, that he actually doesn't need us as fans. I mean, how many times have we gone to a game or we've seen it on TV where the other team, you know, comes in and takes over a stadium? We saw it with Denver. We saw it with the Niners. We see it with other teams every year. I mean, no matter what, whether we're fans here or not, buying jerseys, whatever, Jerry Jones has built such a kingdom over there, his Jerry world over there, that he doesn't need us because he's still going to be making his money because that place is – I mean, let's face it, it's a gorgeous place to be over there.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Jerry Jones, at this given time and moment, he won his Super Bowl when he got the Raiders to Vegas. He won his Super Bowl when he got the Chargers and he got the Rams back to LA in SoFi Stadium. Those were Jerry Jones Super Bowls. Jerry Jones won his Super Bowl when he got Nike and brand deals in the NFL. Jerry Jones Super Bowl is when the AT&T pays him $30 million a year to hang AT&T Stadium up on the Cowboy Stadium. Jerry's won multiple Super Bowls. It just came in dollars, and it came in ego.
Yeah. No, I mean, when you have your owner, and I'm sure you remember this interview, and the interviewer was asking Jerry, at what point is it enough? Like, as him being the GM, at what point is it enough for you to say enough is enough? Let me get someone else in there that can actually do the job. And his response was, you can't fire yourself. You can't fire yourself. You only got to be better. Let's face it. He's not better. That's why we have Will McClay as our leading scout who makes these decisions. But yes, we got Jerry Jones who has the final say along with Stephen Jones. But I think that is just what the Cowboys are. We are a owner who is playing GM, thinks he knows what he's doing. He's a businessman. I mean, look what he did for the NFL. I mean, he changed the whole landscape of the NFL, brought so much money into it.
That's Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's his Super. That's all. What we see pretty much in the NFL today, with sponsors here, sponsors there. That's Jerry's legacy, not the 3 Super Bowls that we won when he was the owner. Because guess what? The way I see it is you had Jimmy and Jerry both learning at the same time. Once Jimmy built the team and Jerry said, I can pretty much put any coach there and we're going to win. I mean, to me, that's Jerry's legacy with this Cowboys team. Right there. They were both once Jerry got his feet wet, I think that's when he lost sight of everything. He lost sight of trying to win Super Bowls. It was more about, I built this team. We've got 3 Super Bowls. Now let me go make my money off this team.
Yeah. No, big shout out to a couple of people here. Coach Dante, Kenneth Davis, KPG, Cowboys champs. We got to get him here on the Boyz Corner right here. He's guy in here.
Cowboys champs. Yeah, I mean, there's some guys that we've talked about having on already, so we'll have some guys on soon.
Yeah, no, but I don't know, dude. It's so frustrating. I don't like looking at free agents because we don't buy free agents. I got to look at this draft and hope that they make a good decision. Not draft by need, but draft BPA, which they have a good track record of doing that. I'll give them that. But other than that, like, I can't trust these Cowboys to go win a playoff game. I had a bad feeling before that 49ers game even started, hours before that 49ers game started. My wife looked at me and she goes, you got that feeling, don't you? And I said, I do. And the feeling, I can't explain the feeling, but I just tell you, cut and dry what it is. I know we're going to lose.
Yeah.
I knew we were going to lose. I had the feeling all day. I was already sad before the fourth quarter hit all zeros.
Yeah, no, I mean, when I saw that we were going to play the Niners, I was excited. I was like, this is a team that will be able to win this game. Get some motivation going into the next round. But the more I sat there and the more I thought about it, the way I saw the Niners were using Deebo Samuels, everything just pointed to, we're not going to be able to stop this guy. We're not going to be able to stop certain players on this 49ers team. And very first drive, I don't even think it took 5 minutes. They ran the ball down the field with Samuels and scored a touchdown. At that point, I was like, nah, man, it's the same old song and dance yet again.
With me, Boys for Life, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought our defense could match up well with them, and I thought they did. They held them to a lot of field goals. I really thought our defense, they were rocky at first, bug jitters, whatever. I thought our defense did really good for us. My confidence was blown because of the offense. I was concerned about holding penalties. I was concerned about dinking and dunking. I was concerned about not getting Cooper the ball. I was concerned about CeeDee Lamb dropping footballs. I was concerned about Zeke and not being that guy. I was concerned about them not getting the ball to Tony Pollard. And all of that happened.
Yeah. No.
All of that happened.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
if you don't fix the issues that you got during the regular season and they continue to linger, they're not going to magically disappear in the playoffs.
no, they're not. To be honest with you, I think they're going to, what's the word I'm looking for? Be exposed even more in the playoffs. Than
like
the
Rams game and the running game.
Yeah.
Like Green Bay and our defense in 2016. And then there's so many times where they exposed us. But I got to give shout out to the 49ers. I mean, they stopped us when they needed to. I mean, we had the ball with 3 minutes and 21 seconds to go win this ball game, and I think we went 3 and out.
Yeah, I mean that's the story of the Cowboys season right there. I mean,
we Cowboys had plenty of opportunities on offense to go score.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, from what I remember the game, yeah, we had a lot of opportunities to do. We made you're right. Our defense stepped up. We made a lot of stops, but our offense could not get going. It's crazy to me, especially when you're the number one offense, right, in the league, and you have trouble getting the ball going.
It was pump numbers, bro. It was pump numbers.
Yeah, I know it is. I know. But it's just very frustrating to me, man, especially when I know you know what you're talking about. I know, like, I'm not the big old X's and O's guy the way you are. I'm not the big old know everything like some of these guys do when they make their videos and they pump out stat numbers, this and that. I'm more of this is what I see on TV. This is my eye test, and we just don't look good. I don't know how to explain it, but it's what I see. And it's very frustrating to me knowing that I know what I'm talking about, and I'm having other people tell me that I have no idea what I'm saying. And then I see it on TV. Man. You what?
It's people being blindfolded.
Yeah. No, I don't. I mean, like I said it before, this fan base is so used to mediocrity that when we get a somewhat decent guy, they want to stick to it. They want to give him the keys of the kingdom. You know, I mean, a shiny, you can only shine a turd so much. It's still a turd, like it's just, I don't even know how to put it into words of how I feel, of how disappointed I was this season. Especially after I started drinking the Kool-Aid again. And I'm like, okay, maybe we can do something. Maybe. And that Cardinals game came around, and I was like, no, we're going to get our butt spanked in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, see, it's hard to drink the Kool-Aid. Now, first of all, when it came to Dan Quinn on the Frisco Report that we do every Tuesday on Cowboys Blog channel, I was drinking Dan Kool-Aid early. I admitted I was drinking the Dan Quinn Kool-Aid early because it wasn't Chris Richard.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people said, oh, Chris Richard couldn't do it. What is Dan Quinn going to do? He was the Falcons head coach. He choked in the Super Bowl, this, that, and third. He was the guy that made Chris Richard. Okay? Yeah. This is the guy that has the keys. Chris Richard had the copy. This is the guy that has the actual key. And so I knew Dan Quinn was going to come in here and do stuff, dude. I was really excited about.
Oh.
And I'm really excited.
Hey, you're freezing up there a little bit. Yeah, no, I know. You kind of froze up on my end, so. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Put your plug back in with the Frisco Report because you kind of froze up on there. I was waiting to finish what you were saying. I was going to tell you to repeat yourself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For sure. No, we do the Frisco Report every Tuesday, and I was talking about Dan Quinn and how I was drinking the Kool-Aid early because, we had Chris Richard. We had the guy that was the copy. He had the copy key to Dan Quinn. Yeah. Dan Quinn made Chris Richard. Chris Richard had the copy. We had the master key in Dan Quinn, right?
And I'm right. I was right there with you, man. I was right there with you on the Dan Quinn when he came and he was going to be the defensive coordinator for this team. I was on a couple of streams with what is it, the NFC South guys, and they were all laughing. They were all making fun, making jokes, and I was like, Dan Quinn, maybe as a head coach, I can see you laughing, but not as a defensive coordinator. Not when his only purpose is to be the defensive coordinator for this team. You're going to see something completely different. And I even said in my videos leading up to this season, I said this is going to be the first time in a long time you're going to see this defense have a lot of turnovers. Like that's the one thing we've been lacking, like what you said, since 2014?
Yep.
That's one thing that we lack in almost every year is turnovers. And to see this team do what they did, turnover after Diggs, man. I mean, that guy was a surprise. I didn't know he was going to do what he did. And for this upcoming season, I'm excited for the defense. I'm excited for the defense because now this is going to be the second year under Dan Quinn. Now let's see what this defense is really about this year. The only part that concerns me is Kellen Moore in this offense, especially when you do have a game manager like Dak and he succeeds more when the play, like you said, the play action's going, when you have the run game going, basic fundamental football going, that's when he succeeds more. But when you try to put too much on his plate, I think that's when he fails.
100%, dude. 100%. It is what it is, I guess. But hey, that was good. That was a good first show there, man. The Boyz Corner right here.
I know, man. I mean, that was fun, man. Like I said, it was a little nerve-wracking for me because I know you're one of those guys, one of those big dogs here. I know you say you're nobody, but in my book, you're someone, man. Like you're one of the when I came across your channel, when I first started doing my YouTube stuff, I was like, I like this guy. I agree with a lot of what he said. And then I started watching your roundtable with, it was you, 1980, Fifth Quarter Cowboy, and who was your other one? Was it Mike Cowboy? Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Cowboy.
Like, when y'all were doing y'all's roundtable, I'm not kidding you. I would be working nights, and every Saturday, like I'd have my headphones. I'd be working, and I'd have my headphones in, my phone in my back pocket, and I'd be listening to y'all talk for the whole however long it was going. And every time you came on and you were talking, you what?
We did 2-hour shows sometimes.
Yeah, every time y'all were talking, you or Fifth Quarter Cowboy, like all of y'all. But when you would talk, I was like, man, I agree with everything this dude is saying right now. So it's an honor. It was fun when I was presented with this show. When Bird Gang came up to me and asked me about it, I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna jump at the chance to do a show with Cowboyz Corner. So
no, dude, when I watched your content, I come in your lives and I like the stuff that you talk. I like realism, dude. I like authentic individuals.
Yeah.
There was a guy that posted a video on Twitter about me praising him, but I really didn't know him. I'm being nice. I'm on his show. He invited me to his show.
I know who you're talking about.
And I didn't know him.
Yeah.
And then I got distant from him because I kind of seen the works that he was doing. I was like, I can't associate with that. He's too flippy floppy for me.
Yeah.
And he posted a video of me giving him praise, but that was actually before I knew him.
Yeah.
Or knew of him. I really didn't know him much. And so, I was just trying to help another guy out, vice versa. And then I started seeing some things on Twitter and things of that sort. I'm like, I'm not going to go live with them no more. I'm not going to, go into his comment section because I like authentic guys. You can't tell me you drink the Kellen Moore Kool-Aid all day long, and then when I've been telling you this whole time that he's no good, and you say, "Oh yeah, he's no good, burn the bridge." It just doesn't work that way. Tell me why Kellen Moore ain't your guy no more. Tell me why you didn't like Micah Parsons.
Don't just agree with what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Yeah, like you're saying is just don't agree with what I'm saying. Just give me an explanation of why he's not your guy anymore.
Right. Don't just flip-flop like that and like, oh, I'm one of the good guys. I like this guy from jump. I hate fake people. It's
funny to me, man, because you see a lot of these, and there's another one that I have been blocked from on Twitter because And I think I was drunk that game of the Niners, and I kind of came at him a little sideways, and I don't even remember what I said. But he's blocked me on Twitter, and sometimes I go into his stream, not his streams, but his videos, and I'm like, hey man, why are you worried, or why this? You got your guy Dak, like you shouldn't be worried. If Dak is the guy you say is, why are you now concerned? If we're getting rid of Amari, why are you upset? If Dak is your dude, he's elite, he's this. Why are you now worried that we're gonna get rid of Amari? That doesn't fly with me.
Because Amari Cooper made Dak Prescott, and they hate to admit it.
Oh, I know, and it's funny because I was going back because I was thinking about that guy, and I was like, you know what? Let me see what he had to say about Parsons, because he's all up, just like the guy you're talking about, is all up Parsons' ass. And I went back on the draft stuff, and I was like, oh, this is another guy that wanted Slater and was kind of iffy about Parsons. But now he's all up Parsons' butt like he's been a day one guy when, oh, you haven't been. So it cracks me up, dude. It cracks me up when I see people jumping ship from what you or I have been saying, but yet they're calling us haters and not real fans. But now they're on our side. It's crazy.
What it is, dude. I remember when Rico Gathers was on this team, and we drafted Dalton Schultz in the first round out of Stafford. And on the round table, they were like, "Oh my God, Rico Gathers, Schultz is going to get cut." And I was like, "Time out, people. The Cowboys invested more in Dalton Schultz than Rico Gathers." They said, "No, they haven't." I said, "They drafted him in the 4th round." What do you mean? This is going to be the guy. This guy. And Dalton Schultz, guess what? He only had 9 catches. Guess how many balls were thrown at him? 9. The only thing Dalton Schultz did was block. All he did was catch 9 footballs, and 9 footballs were thrown at him. I like his style over there at Stafford. I like what he did. I'm not the Cowboys franchise tag.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I want to talk to you more, but it seems like we're out of time. So next week we'll talk about the Dalton Schultz franchise tag. But Cowboys Corner, I had a great show with you. I had a fun time doing this. Let these people know where they can find you before we get out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. No, dude. First of all, like I said, I'm nobody. I appreciate all the kind words from you. Like I said, I've been watching you for a long time. I was real excited because we do think alike when it comes to these Cowboys. So I was like, without hesitation. And then all of a sudden the conversation stopped. So I got over there. I was like, hey, what happened to the show? I haven't heard nothing else. And I was like, we got to make something happen. So I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad we're doing this thing. But go Cowboys. Let's talk our brains off and let's see what happens.
Yep. And for everyone in the chat, you can find both of us. All of our stuff is in the description down below, our Twitters, our YouTubes, everything. This is the Boyz Corner, first of many shows. I want to thank everyone that stopped by, that chimed in. But yeah, let's go Cowboys. Until next time. Later, guys.